Good morning, Ryan here with the Family Cruiser 250. We are on the trail. We are headed up to Santiago Peak. This is a SoCal classic, very beginner friendly. We're just going up here to do a nice little morning drive. It's Labor Day weekend, so hopefully everyone's busy camping and everyone's out of town, so hopefully the trail won't be too busy. We did start pretty early, around 6 a.m. To avoid crowds just in case. So yeah, if you want to get up here to avoid some crowds or traffic, definitely get up here before 6 a.m. So I'm just in Fort High. I'm not aired down or anything. This is a 2 out of 10 trail, so just a normal fire road up a mountain. Nothing technical, so we should be okay. So yeah, stick around and we'll get some drone footage for you coming up right now. So while we're out here on the trail, let's go ahead and address some of these common issues that have been popping up for the 2024 Land Cruiser. I've been seeing common issues across the forum, social media, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. So number one is, and I touched base on this on one of my other videos, is the rattling engine noise. 2 weeks ago I met up with a fellow 2024 Land Cruiser owner. He let me drive his car to see if I hear the same sound from my car. So his was a Land Cruiser trim and mine's a 1958. So obviously it did sound the same, but his did not have a rattle. So what we hypothesized was we didn't hear the rattle because his engine was warm. He drove about an hour to meet me up. He was actually buying my roof rack. So he drove an hour to meet me up. So his engine, super warm, obviously, and no rattle. And so my car's been sitting for a while, but it's been sitting in the heat. So then we decided to drive my car, and it did sound exactly the same with no rattle. So I think it's a cold start issue. Maybe it's not even an issue. It's just a cold start noise that we're all gonna have to live with until your engine warms up and then the rattle goes away. You can hear it slightly, but not as loud as when your engine's cold. So I'll still bring it up with the dealer on my next service, but the way we see it is a non-issue, but we're no experts. I know a lot of you have been complaining about that rattle noise, so I think we'll be okay. I think it's just something we have to live with a cold engine. So I'd pass it as a non-issue. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any other insight into the rattle noise, please let us know. I'll also keep you guys updated from what the dealer tells me. I know some of you already addressed it with your dealer, and it doesn't sound like it's anything serious at this point. So I think we're all good with this engine rattle. The second thing I want to address is the cabin noise. I don't know if it's, actually I don't even know if it's coming from the cabin, but when you hit about highway speeds, freeway speeds, about 70 miles per hour, you do hear something on the passenger side A-pillar, some kind of rattle or something flapping. At first I thought it was the roof rack, but I actually drove without the roof rack for a little bit, and it was still there. So it wasn't the roof rack. I know TRD John pointed it out when he first got his Land Cruiser, and it's funny, I didn't notice it until he said something, and of course I started noticing it in my car. So that's another thing we need to address with the dealer. So those of you who have already taken it into the dealer, let us know if there was a fix for it. Please let us know in the comments. It's not a big issue, but it's kind of annoying. Given it's a new car, there shouldn't be anything rattling or anything loose in there. Number 3. What is number 3? That's the thing. See, this car's so good, it's hard to figure out what those issues are. Common issue. So the third common issue that I've been seeing pop up is squeaking in the brakes. I've noticed it once in a while going in reverse. I just thought it was the calipers being dirty from hitting the trail, or if there's some moisture in there. But it's not there all the time. And it's usually just like a little squeak and then it'll go away. I'll of course bring this up to the dealer also. But to me it's not a huge issue because I don't hear it that much. So I don't know if some of you hear it more than others. I only hear it sometimes in reverse. So let us know in the comments if you're experiencing some squeak in your brakes on a regular basis. I don't think it's an issue because I don't hear it consistently enough. So yeah, those are the 3 common issues. I think the most alarming one was the rattle, just because the new Tundra was going through some major issues and a full powertrain recall. So I don't think it's that. And of course the rattle is something I could live with, not a serious thing. They'll probably come up with a fix later on. I'm not too worried about that one. And the brakes, I'm not worried about that either. I don't hear it consistently enough. All in all, the Land Cruiser's been great. It's funny seeing Facebook posts about people having issues at like 1,200 miles. Thinking about applying the lemon law. It's interesting because I know a lot of owners now through social media, and everyone's been having a great experience so far. So I'm wondering if these are one of these internet trolls that are just trying to put stuff out there that these Land Cruisers are not reliable and blah blah blah, and Toyota's reliability is gone. I don't think that's the case. But yeah, these cars are new, so only time will tell. No one can predict the future, but I know Toyota's been doing this for a hell of a long time, and they've been doing hybrids for a long time. So that's why I ended up purchasing a Land Cruiser with the hybrid motor, because I wasn't worried about it. If you're that worried about it, do your research before you buy one. Compare it with all the other brands. And honestly, you'll always go back to Toyota for reliability. And what you get out of this Land Cruiser, even the 1958 base trim, is a whole lot. I mean, no, there's no leather seats, there's no 360 monitor, there's no sway bar disconnect. But if you're looking for a basic off-roader that you want to go take your family out and overland and do some easy trails like this, get out and see some views, this is more than capable. You are seeing some more extreme builds by some of the big manufacturers like Descent and Slee. and they'll show you how capable these things really are with the right modifications. And I've been lucky enough to do some R&D for DV8 off-road from California and Arizona. So we got a lot of parts coming out for the Land Cruiser, and most of it's mild build parts. They are coming out with the full front bumper soon, so we'll see what that looks like. But for now, I think most of the Land Cruiser owners are going to be doing exactly what I'm doing, is just hitting some easy to moderate trails, trying to get out to a nice camp spot with the family. So things like 3-inch lifts and like 37-inch tires, or start cutting the bumpers, is not going to be necessary for what we're going to do with the Land Cruiser, but it is cool to see those builds happening. There's going to be a lot more coming out for the Land Cruiser, so for those thinking about getting one, or for those that already have one, just be patient. We know the aftermarket is huge for Toyotas, and I don't see it being any different for this Land Cruiser. So stay tuned to this channel. There'll be more build stuff coming from DV8, and of course we'll get into more of our Overland / camping gear that we'll be getting on the car soon. So let me get past this guy, and then I could pull over. There's some traffic coming in here. So there's some few things I still got to figure out about the build. Obviously we're going to do some overlanding, camping. So I need to figure out my rooftop storage. This is a prototype rack that I'm running from DV8. So I'm still trying to figure out what I could mount up here. I know DV8 will be making some rack accessories soon, but for now I have to kind of modify everything because most people make mounts. So yeah, we're going on a camping trip in a few weeks. No off-roading, but just a family camping trip. So we'll have all the camping gear mounted up, all the roof storage mounted up. So I'll show you then what that looks like. But stay tuned, we'll get up to the top here in a second, and we'll get the drone back up. Alright, so we are headed back down the trail. We started down about 9 o'clock. There's already a bunch of traffic coming up, a few dirt bikes and a bunch of other off-road vehicles. We did see a Prius up here. So like I said, if you're a beginner off-roader, this is one of those trails you want to start off with. And there's some sections here where you could really test your vehicle's capability and practice your driving skills, your off-roading skills. There's a couple of obstacles here that are good for that. But overall, another easy trail for the 2024 Land Cruiser. Stay tuned for future builds and more Overland gear as we get closer to camp season, fall camp season. So stay tuned. Please like and subscribe for more 2024 Land Cruiser content. Please visit my links in my profile for any of the products and companies that I'm affiliated with. I do have a 10% off discount code for DV8 Off-Road, so please pop into my bio for that link and coupon code as well. Thanks for watching another trail day with the 2024 Land Cruiser, and we'll see you in the next one.